At the meeting between President Biden and Xi Jinping, I think that there will be discussions about their respective visions for the globe and the Indo-Pacific. I know that President Biden is eager to talk about competition between the US and China, which doesn't have to be zero sum. It doesn't have to lead to war. It does need to be managed. And I think that's the main message that President Biden wants to get across, is that we need to actually put in place mechanisms to manage that competition so it doesn't spiral out of control. There's interest in having risk reduction measures between the two militaries, perhaps, and having some dialogues that might enable us to reduce misunderstanding and control the potential for this intensifying competition to eventually lead to conflict. I think that there's a lot actually for the presidents to talk about. Cooperative issues will also be on the table. I think that both Chinese leader Xi Jinping and President Biden believe that we do still have some converging interests between the United States and China. We should try to work together. So maybe climate change, non-proliferation issues, perhaps some other environmental issues like oceans protection, law enforcement. These are areas where I think that the US and China can work together.
And do you think the potential for cooperation on the issues that you've just mentioned will allow for a greater sense of, a freer sense of dialogue on the more sensitive issues that the leaders also have to address? And I'm thinking particularly here in the case of Taiwan.
Well, first of all, I'm really pessimistic that we will make much headway in any area of cooperation, though I hope that we will. But I think that the areas of converging interests between the United States and China have been reduced. So I'm not very optimistic that we will find much common ground, especially on security issues. And Taiwan, of course, being the most difficult security issue. So I think that the hope is that we can convince China to back off of some of its military, diplomatic, and economic coercion against Taiwan. But I don't think that there is really any basis for a common understanding. The Chinese believe that the United States is emboldening what the language that they use, Taiwan independence. And the United States believes that China is unilaterally changing the status quo in the Taiwan Strait. So the prospects for common ground really are quite dim.